say what's on my mind.
Who you know got it like that? Who you know rather make rappers get laughed?
What's going on, guys? Djimongordon back with another. What's going on, guys? Djimongordon back with another DST fitness video today, and for the top, I can't talk today. And from the title of today's video, I'm talking about the new athlete that we just brought on and the timeline of, you know, the DST narrative, if you guys didn't get that, but I think most of you guys got that. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then, you know, everything that the business went through this year. So I know throughout, you know, all the videos I was posting in the past year that I was kind of giving like steady updates with DST and, you know, where it was going throughout the year, but this is just going to be an overcap of what the business went through on a whole, and all of the rejections and all of the fuck ups and all of the successes, and how I was able to keep positive with everything, and how you guys can keep that mentality and apply it to whatever you guys want to do as well. So let's hop into today's video. So my athlete that I brought on, the athlete is Garrett Heitnick, and Garrett is a great dude, right? So I met him back at IU, and I was working out one morning, and we were working in on one set, and we just got to know each other. So from there, I was like, this is a good dude, and I told him about DST and everything I was doing, and he's just always been there supporting. And, you know, I remember him telling me about his athletic career back in high school and everything that he's doing now. So I didn't touch on this in the little article that I posted about Garrett, but Garrett is also, you know, diving more into the powerlifting world, and I think that's awesome, man. Like, you know, just from getting to know this guy, he's a great dude. He literally holds all the core values that DST holds, and I think that's what's awesome, right? Like, you know, DST, we talk about and we encourage you guys to go out there, fight for your destinations, be relentless, and do not give up. That's the last thing that we want, is to give up. And, you know, from talking to him, hearing his life story, you know, that's the last thing that he did was ever give up. He just kept on fighting and pushing forward to, you know, get to where his destination is. And, you know, I just think that at the end of the day, that's all we can ever do, right? Is just keep on fighting, keep on pushing forward to get to our destination. So that being said, we finally brought him on after, like, you know, a month of getting everything together, talking to him, and, you know, he was more than down to do it. And, you know, we just hit the ball, and we just, you know, got after and got all the papers signed up, or got all the papers signed, got everything lined up for him to, you know, come on to the team and to become our very first athlete. So, you know, now that we got, God, it's so hot in here. But so now that we got our first athlete signed, we are looking to bring on a new athlete every 6 months. So that means 2 athletes a year. And if you guys want to become an athlete, you guys feel like you fit all the criteria needed to become a DST athlete, you have a dream, you have a goal that you want to achieve, that you want to get to, I'm leaving my email down in the description box. Email me, or you can go to the contact form on our website and fill out the contact form and put it in the box, you know, I'm looking to become a DST athlete, or my name is blah 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 and I am a blah 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 and I'm looking to become a DST athlete. So we are looking to bring on new people. So if you are interested in becoming a DST athlete, and I will list all of the benefits that come with it in the description box as well, and we can talk more about it when you email me or contact us through the contact form on our website, and we can get everything rolling for you guys. So that was the, you know, the most that's our first athlete, and I'm so hyped about this. I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. Like, it's a really tight thing. So now that we got that covered and talked about, next thing I wanted to talk about was our timeline. So I don't know if you guys saw, but, you know, And I'm sorry if you guys haven't read it. If you haven't read it, stop the video right now and go read it right now. Like, I'm not, look, hey, stop it. Go read the video, or the article, I mean. So if you guys, but for all of you that have read it already, I'm gonna explain the timeline. I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory, but you know, I thought of it last minute. I thought it was cool, and I like talking about it, so I'm gonna explain it. So fuck it. But the timeline is pretty tight, right? So we have, you know, at first when I was making the timeline, I was just like, okay, it's gonna be Destination, or it's gonna be DST, the clothing line, just talking to Garrett, right? And then I was like, let's put Destination DST so people know everything about, you know, the clothing line. And then I was like, nah, let's make it like he's actually talking to himself in the future. So I was like, okay, how can I do this so like they can somewhat understand what I'm trying to talk about? But you know, I don't think you guys. So how can I understand? How can I put it so that you guys can understand what I'm somewhat talking about? So I put your destination, right? So before, you know, future destination, which is your destination in the little outline or in the article as your destination, you know, talking to Garrett and asking Garrett these questions. So, you know, throughout the whole article, it's just asking questions, having like a flowing conversation, and then towards the end of it, it asks, okay, so Garrett, where's our destination? Like, where are we heading? And he says where his destination is. I'm not gonna reveal it because if you guys haven't read it, you guys gotta go read it. So it says he says his destination, and he's like, and then the you know, his future destination responds back and says, well, let's get there. And that's just implying that, you know, Garrett has already reached his destination, right? Like, that's already in the future. It's already foretold. He's already working towards getting to that destination. It's just a matter of time before he gets there. And his future self, right? His future destination comes back in time, talks to himself now, and you know, just kind of sets in stone, and just talks to his present self, or talks to his past self, my bad, and gets everything, you know, situated, resolved, and just like kind of like a motivational, like encouraging type of thing, I guess. So that's the outline of the story. I think that was pretty tight, man. I don't know. I just love it. But so yeah, so after that, you know, I had to think about everything else that DST has been through, because, you know, while I was writing that, I was like, well, dang, what's Destination been through? What's DST been through? And this whole year has been crazy. So I'm gonna break it down to you guys. So I'm not sure if you guys remember, but this is a while back. So from like my very first video I posted, I talked about DST, and I talked about its dreams and its goals to become and aspire for bigger things in life. And at the time, I was using a third-party website called Spreadshirt, my bad. And what this website does is you can upload your logo onto the website, and then they'll put the logo onto clothes, and they'll give you like your own shop, your own website that you can use through them, that they provide. And damn, I just cannot talk today. They give you so they give you a website that they provide, and it just, you know, you just set things up through there. And after about, I'd probably say 2 months, man, maybe two to 3 months, I can't remember. I was like, you know, I'm tired of this. I can't, you know, it's time for me to get my own stuff now. So I closed down the website, and I went to work to go buy a domain. I started working on my own website, and I was finally getting everything rolling. So that took over just to get the whole website up and ready, make sure everything, went smooth, because it was literally one thing right after another that just would not work. And it was super frustrating. Like it was the most taxing thing that I felt like I went through my life. Like having to not call up, but like they have a little chat box on Squarespace. That's a provider that I use. Having to go through that chat box literally every 2 minutes I was working on the website was probably the most annoying things ever. But I kept faith, and I knew that in the long run I'd be thankful for doing this and just going through the bullshit, and then it'll be over soon. So just keep going with it. And it paid off. Like I really can't, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like it just paid off. Like I put it up there, man. I finally got it all figured out, got everything together, and it just felt like everything started to click now. Everything was clicking. And it just started running smooth. So that was the upside of, finally cutting off this third-party website and going all in on, like, really, I feel like this is really me jumping in and taking a risk, and, having to actually go out there and buy my own shirts and design print them, and, all this other stuff, and having to really, make this website from scratch, and having some help, I guess, from, like, Squarespace and whatnot. But it was challenging. So finally got that figured out, and then I was like, okay, bet. So I finally got I finally got my website done, and I was like, okay, so I need to put my shirts on here now. So while I was working on the website, I was already working on getting my first batch of shirts out. If you guys remember, it really wasn't that long ago. I got my first batch of shirts were gray, right? So they're all gray, and I was like, bet, perfect, let's go. Let's get these bad boys out and to the market. So dude calls me up, the guy who I got the shirts from, who I put the order into, and he's like, yo, the shirts are here, come through, pick them up, just, they're ready to go. So I go to his house and I pick them up, and I looked through like one or two. The two I looked through were perfect, they were fine. I was like, bet, thanks, man. Gave him the money, and then I came back home, and I was just going through the shirts some more, and I was noticing that the logo, so the DST logo on the front was literally like somewhere this big, somewhere this big, somewhere this big, and it was just so, I was so pissed. I was pissed, man, because I'm not even gonna lie, I spent a good amount of money on the shirts just to get them, and then find out that all of them weren't like how I wanted them to be. So not in a way, it was discouraging as fuck. So I got the shirts, and I was mad. Simply put it, I was mad, I was angry, and I don't know, I felt like all the work I was putting into the website and all the time I spent raising money to buy these shirts, because I didn't come into DST with any type of capital. I straight up came into DST with just a plan, a vision, and no money to back it up. So I had to literally raise money myself from working to put into the batch of shirts I wanted to get. So when I finally, when I got these shirts, I was mad, and I was just like, how can this shit just happen? Like, come on now. Like, I specifically asked you to do it like this and have it like how I really wanted to have it, and it still came out to be messed up. So that I was just, at the time, I was mad, and I didn't know how to flip this around. But I had to remember that, this literally happens to everyone starting a business. You are going to, like, it's not going to come out right the first time. You just have to accept that. It's just not going to come out right the first time. And once you accept that and know that maybe it will come out right, or maybe it won't come out right, when it doesn't come out right or something doesn't go your way, you're able to cope with it better and find an alternative solution to, you know, fixing that problem. And that's what DST had to do. So yeah, that was probably one of the biggest shockers to DST, and you know, everything about it too. And then so once the summer, that was pretty much the whole summer, just trying to get those shirts sold out and all that good jazz. So once the summer finally, you know, was over and it was time to go back to school, this is some real deep stuff, guys. I was super stressed out because I didn't know how I was gonna manage a business, college, just life, and everything else all together. So I was stressed out, and from being so stressed out about it, I started to become anxious and, you know, just worrying about where this was going to go in the future, and was I going to be able to do it? Was this going to fail? Was this actually going to work out? And all of this stuff. And oh man, let me just say this, guys, like if there's one thing that I learned from this past semester, and you know, pursuing your dreams and doing everything that you want to do but having to balance something else, you just have to believe that it's gonna come out and work out in your favor. As long as you're putting in the work and you're going at it relentlessly with everything that you have, and you know, you're trying your hardest to balance everything. It's not gonna go smooth the very first couple of times. That's just how it's just not like it's a learning process. You'll get better day by day as long as you put your focus into getting better day by day, week by week, month by month. It will get better over time. And this anxiety started to develop and build up, and I just didn't know how to like cope with this while trying to, you know, be in college, be a student, start a business, still have fun, you know, still have a social life, all this other stuff. And it just got to me. So I was just like, what do I do? Like, what do I was looking for answers, literally looking for answers. And I just had to step back, relax, and just go with the, like, in a way, going with the flow, but putting the flow to your advantage. Like, say that only, like, the best example I can think of right now is like, you pour water, right? So you have a cup and you're pouring out water. Now, when you're pouring out water, you can either swiggle the cup so that the water comes out and it's coming out like in a swiggle, kind of like in a spiral effect, or you can pour out the water and it's, you know, streaming down nice and smooth, and you move the cup around so that it's, you know, you move the cup around gently so that it's still coming out in a nice and smooth manner, but it's still like, you know, you're moving it around in your way. So I had to step back, stop, and pause, and just let everything go down its natural flow and just go with it, and just keep putting everything that I'm doing into its place, but still going with the flow of it and not worrying about the future. Because I don't know, becoming an entrepreneur, like, you get stuck in the mindset of wanting the, you know, seeing the future and wanting the future to manifest, right? But sometimes you can't look too far into the future. You just have to be in the present moment and live for the present moment, manifest the best of the present moment as much as you can. So I did that, and I was overcoming that throughout the school year, and I finally was able to really tackle that at the end of the school semester, and, you know, really, you know, gain hold of that control, like how I was trying to get throughout the whole semester. So it was collectively like at least 5 months that I was trying to gain this and control this, you know, this flow. But, you know, that finally resolved, worked its way out, and I was able to do what I really wanted to do. So that was another thing that I had to overcome, not only with the business, but somewhat like just with myself too. And I was honestly, I just kind of thought of this last minute. I'm not gonna make a whole video. I'm not gonna tell you guys any more, like, shit that fucked up, the school year with DST. I'm not gonna do that. Just know that whatever you put your mind to, whatever you want to do, just do it, man. It really is hard. Like, before I got into the entrepreneur life, like, I didn't think that it was going to be this hard, but it's literally as hard as they say it is. And not to discourage anyone that's trying to get into it, because that's not what I'm trying to do at all. But I'm just trying to say that you had to have something that you're so passionate about that you just keep going forward with. And that's the only driving factor that I used for DSTs. That I know that I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to help motivate people to reach their goals, to live the life that they want to live, not settling, literally reaching your goals, doing everything that you wanted to do from when you were a kid and that you're still passionate about now. And I didn't want, I was thinking about, saying more of the, the rejections, everything that I had to overcome this past year with DST, but just know that whatever you want to do, guys, like, it's gonna be hard, and it is possible to balance whatever you're doing and whatever else you're doing, and still coming out and being able to do both until one thing finally can overtake the other and you can just do that full time. But it's all a work in progress, man. That's all I can say. It's all a work in progress, and you just can't fight it. Like, that's it. Like, you gotta go with the flow, take it day by day, and do what you need to do day by day to get to where you need to go. And whatever comes up, you just handle it and just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Keep figuring out new things to do. You keep learning. Keep diving yourself into different and new activities so that you're not settling, so that you're not, becoming complacent. And yeah, so that's DST's year summed up. And you guys don't understand, but everyone who has bought a shirt, I'm so thankful and appreciative to you guys, because you guys are literally investing into my dream and investing into yourselves most of all. And when you buy a shirt, that literally means you believe in you getting to your destination. So I thank all of you guys, and I love all you guys. I love all my subscribers. I finally broke past, I finally got to 60 subscribers on YouTube. Still kind of small, but we're taking it. We're progressing. That's all I can say, and that's all I can ask for, is to get better each and every day. But thank you guys so much. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And you guys know the drill. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your cat.